Let's start off with the dungeon category with tip number 1, and tip number 1 is that Spider Stage 10 is bugged as hell. It's got an 81% drop rate on rank 5 artifacts, which is more than double that of Spider Stage 11. Tip number 2, the only stage that's better than farming Spider Stage 10 is actually going to be Stage 16, and of course Stage 20 and beyond and all of that, but Stage 16 is the next milestone stage that you actually want to be aiming for, and the only reason that Stage 16 is better than Spider Stage 10 is because brews no longer drop in Stage 16 dungeons, which just means more of the loot is going to be actual artifacts and accessories. Tip number 3 is going to be that hard mode Spider is actually easy mode Spider. Just clear all of the waves, throw in some big AoE damage dealers, and be tanky enough to survive the boss's occasional attack, and you're going to do just fine. Tip number 3.5, which has nothing to do with dungeons. If you're ever going to start off a new raid account, make sure that you do that using a beginner promo link, like the one down below this video at the top of the description box, man, to ensure that you get off to a triple legendary start on that new raid account, right? You're going to grab Basilius Varanus as your day 1 start legendary by using the link down below, as well as 3 free epic champions as you level that account on up. Just make sure to click on that link on laptop or PC and use that link to create your new raid account, man, for all of the freebies that you see on screen right now, and get it done before October 30th if you're watching this video in the first month after it goes up, while Michelangelo is the login reward champion. Tip number 4, while multi-hitter champions and of course ally attack champions are going to be very, very helpful for you going into Fire Knight, make sure that as you approach hard mode Fire Knight on your account that you have some multi-hitter freeze champions at least stored away in your vault, ready to build when the time comes where multi-hitter freeze champions are going to be your bread and butter for controlling hard mode Fire Knight's 10 meter. Number 5, the only way to correctly farm your masteries is in the Minotaur dungeon. Tip number 6 is that the only exception to this rule is your starter champion. Number 7, another exception to this rule is if you have a life, no one's looking and you can't be bothered, go ahead and spend the gems anyway. Tip number 8 kind of is like, seriously, it is way more efficient to farm your gems inside of the Minotaur dungeon. You can spend 800 gems to unlock a champion's masteries completely for free, or you can spend about 730 gems worth of energy refills in your gem shop to pump all of that energy into Minotaur and farm up full masteries on a champion, while also farming experience and while also farming around 2.5 million silver per champion that you're farming up the masteries in Minotaur in as well. Way more efficient in the long run. Tip number 9 is Ice Golem's Peak. If you're stuck in Ice Golem's Peak, it's all your fault. It probably means that you're rushing it, okay? Instead of focusing on actually killing the boss, instead focus on ally protection buffs, increased defense buffs, shield buffs, decrease attack debuffs against the boss, and just slow the fight down. This is an unlosable dungeon as long as you're taking care of your defensive duties. Tip number 10, all of the tools that you want to bring into the Dragon's Lair dungeon, things like decreased defense, weaken, HP burns, all of that good stuff, are basically going to be exactly the same tools that you want to bring into Demon Lord Clan Boss. Speaking of which, moving on to the Clan Boss section, man, with tip number 11. Tip number 11 is going to be Demon Lord Clan Boss is the single most important area of the game that you absolutely must farm to the max as quickly as possible on your account. Easier said than done, but we're talking some insane rewards here. Farming the top tier chests and getting the kill against Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare difficulty Demon Lord Clan Boss alone is going to award you an average of about 10 or 11 Sacred Shards per month, about 17 or 18 Void Shards, and 43 Ancient Shards on average per month, and that's not even covering the skill books. Tip number 12, while decreased attack debuff is kind of insane almost everywhere in the game, it's particularly crucial into your Demon Lord Clan Boss team unless you are building an unkillable or some kind of block damage Demon Lord Clan Boss team. 13, if you are a new player and you are thinking about trying to build an unkillable Demon Lord Clan Boss team, don't do it, man. Don't bother. Don't put yourself through that until you've got a little bit more experience with the game. I mean, you can give it a shot if you want. I've got a few guides up on the channel talking about unkillable and block damage type Demon Lord Clan Boss teams. The speed tunings are going to be bloody horrible, and I'm just saying, be prepared for the pain of setting these things up. Tip 14, if you are playing into Chimera Clan Boss and you're hitting roughly around like hard or brutal difficulty, and that's just about where your account is right now, and you are doing way more damage than you need to unlock the final chest in the difficulty that you are currently hitting, consider sacrificing a little bit of that damage, because you don't need to be dealing 90 million damage to brutal difficulty Chimera. Reduce the damage a little bit and fit more champions into the team that can help you take care of Chimera trials to maximize your rewards. Tip 15, man, Hydra. Bring an AoE block buffs champion and a provoker into your team at a minimum. If you don't have those tools, turn back now. Tip number 16 is going to kick off the Doom Tower section, man, and tip number 16 is going to be that Dreadhorn, Bommel, and Scarab probably kicked your ass. It's not even a tip. It's just a fact. Tip number 17, man. The best bosses to farm in every single Doom Tower rotations are going to be roughly the following. First of all, Dark Fae, if it's available. Then Griffin. Then either Magma Dragon or Nether Spider, depending on, well, which set you want to craft the most. Some people are big believers in Infinity Breaker, and some people, you know, don't mind the Fatal set as a filler set. This isn't a very good rotation, though, the old Frost Spider rotation. Tip number 19, man, and this is a double-barreled tip. First of all, when it comes to farming Doom Tower, always farm hard mode Doom Tower first, as high up as you can possibly go. This might be almost nothing at all if you're a new player, but even if you can just get up to, say, like the 4th boss in hard mode Doom Tower, and maybe you can pick out a boss that you want to farm in hard mode Doom Tower, great. Unlock it as early as possible in the current Doom Tower rotation. This means that you're going to have longer to farm that boss over the next few weeks before the rotation eventually is going to reset again. Right, why do you want to farm the hard mode Doom Tower boss? Yeah, you might be able to get more materials in normal mode Doom Tower, but they're going to be lower quality, man. Hard mode Doom Tower is going to be epic and legendary crafting materials for the set associated with that boss, so farm them as quick as possible. Additionally to this tip, do not clear any secret rooms inside of Doom Tower, right? Every time you spend a silver key on a secret room, you get 2 silver keys back in return that you can use to farm a given boss, okay? Don't farm these bloody secret rooms until you have reached the boss in hard mode Doom Tower that you are looking to target farm for the entirety of that rotation, okay? Otherwise, the secret room keys and the silver keys that you farm from secret rooms are gonna go to waste on the daily reset. You might as well save all your secret rooms and all those bonus silver keys that you can get to funnel them into the boss that you want to farm towards the end of the rotation. This next section is going to be a quick one with Cursed City. Tip number 20, heal reduction finally becomes useful. Tip number 21, when Cursed City first ever unlocks on your raid account, right? The first time you ever unlock Cursed City, it's going to start you off in hard mode for some absolutely unknown and terribly sad reason. This results in a lot of players playing at a Cursed City, clearing a few rooms and thinking, my god, this is really, really tough content. My account isn't ready for this yet. When really all you got to do is switch on over to normal mode. I do not know why the game starts you off in hard mode. It just does. It's worth double checking. Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this section, man. This section is gonna be some spending tips, okay? Starting off with tip 22. 22 is if you want to spend inside of Raid Shadow Legends and you're on a small budget, just buy the daily gem pack. It is by far the best value pack and best value purchase that you can make on the Raid shop. Tip 23, if you're on a bit of a higher budget, then the monthly shard pack is fine as well. Tip 24, never ever purchase packs that are advertised as silver packs or that are just exclusively selling silver, and never ever buy packs that are selling artifacts or accessories. It's just never ever worth it. Tip 25 is just that most packs in the shop in general are not great value for your cash, especially those with the hot labels. What is this hot label here for, Plarium? The big shard pack is infinitely better value than getting the small shard pack. Why does this one have the hot label, bro? Tip 26 is that after spending inside of Raid, once your account hits a certain spending threshold, Plarium are going to start to try and sell you increased pack offers. Okay, so just be ready for this in your shop, man. If you're even like a low or a moderate spender, you might run into this where all of a sudden packs will start offering like double or even triple the rewards that you would normally give, but they're also going to become twice or 3 times more costly, as you can see in my shop right here. These are some pretty bloody steep pack offers coming in, so just be ready for that. Next batch of tips is going to all be about resources. Tip 27, the only thing that you should ever be spending your gems on pretty much is going to be energy refills to get through dungeon tournaments and dungeon divers events. The exception to this rule is masteries for at least your starter champion, and many more than that if people aren't looking. 99% of the time, the correct way is going to be full energy refills and experience banner boosts if you are ever running out of experience banners and you desperately need one. And yeah. 28, shards. Only ever be pulling the shards on your account during a 2x event. This is like a given rule for most players in the first like year and a half of their account, where you're just looking to expand your roster as much as possible, and pulling in things like progressive chance events, just not good. Another exception to this rule is of course pulling the likes of sacred shards to get through a summer rush event if you are investing in completing a fusion. Tip number 29, if you're a new player and you're wondering what a fusion is, forget about it. Tip 30, silver. Only ever spend it ever to upgrade your gear during a gear enhancement event. 31, experience brews. Only ever spend these to rank up your food champions, throw some levels into these guys during champion training events and champion training tournaments for easy points. In fact, tip number 32 is that every single resource inside of Raid Shadow Legends has a correct and an incorrect time to be spent. It's usually tied to events that are going on inside of the game, so save all of your resources and learn which resource to spend during which event. And this applies to really everything, even crafting forge, or crafting in your forge and spending your forge materials. This shouldn't ever really be done during CVC events for just easy points in there, same as spending your Great Hall Classic Arena medals, CVC only. You want to get good at Raid and have a healthy account in the long term, learn exactly when to spend every resource. I've done videos on this before in the past as well. Next up, missions with tip number 33, and that is to simply always check ahead at least like 7 or 8 missions in advance and just know what's coming in the coming weeks, especially in the Arbiter missions where you are liable to miss things like potion keep missions or just ascend champions at the wrong time and miss out on easy wins for your mission objectives and really slow down your progress if you're not careful. Now, 34 for the Romantu missions, man. Tip number 34, be warned of these upcoming missions right here. Roll max substat upgrades using rank 5 or higher glyphs. There are a multiple amount of these missions. I'm not sure how many in total, but I do know this. I know that on average, most players need about 300 to 350 rank 5 or higher glyphs in order to actually max roll enough to get through all of these Romantu gear missions. That's a lot of glyphs. Don't be wasting those glyphs before you get to those missions. You're going to regret it in the long run. Moving on to gear tips. Tip number 35 is simply that speed is the best stat in the game in all of Raid Shadow Legends, and 90%, probably 95% or even higher of the champions on your account need to be running speed as the main stat on their boots, rank 5 boots or higher typically. Boots are the only stat in the game that can roll speed as the main stat, so make sure that you are taking advantage of that, right? Especially in the early game as a newer player, speed is the main stat on your boots. These things are gold dust. Tip 36, man. Be on the lookout for speed, crit rate, and accuracy on your gear. These 3 stats, speed, crit rate, accuracy, are like the 3 building blocks, the 3 fundamental stats that basically every single in the champion build in the game relies on in some way to build them properly. Tip 37. Stats on your gear are way more important than the sets, especially in the early game, right? Take my Diabolus chestplate right here, right? Accuracy as a set, little bit of a piece of crap, man, but Diabolus is not a super high priority champion on my account. Whatever, doesn't matter. We've got a double speed roll on this thing, and it's got defense percent as the main stat. Not a bad little chestplate for a hand-me-down type champ. And as much as you're going to want to get good gear sets equipped on your champions in the early game of your account, as I realize that the Slixus build is broken and it needs one more piece of bloody savage gear, what the hell have I done to this build? You probably just don't have good enough gear to actually equip on your champions to activate sets in the super early game, so stats over sets. Tip 38 is that percentage stats are basically always better than flat stats unless we're talking about speed or very, very specialized like resistance builds. 39, always check what a champion's damage scales with, right? Just because a champion is defense-based doesn't mean that they're going to deal damage purely based on defense. Just because a champion is an attack-based champion also doesn't mean that you need to build them with a billion attack percentage on their attacks, right, and in their builds. You can go ahead and check how a champion's damage scales by just clicking on the champion, click on their damage dealing skills, and check what their damage is based on right here. As you can see on Leonardo, defense-based damage. However, an attack-based champion like Geomancer, yeah, he's got one attack all enemies skill on his A1, but his other 2 skills, very, very weak hitting or simply just place HP bends and weakens. And so building a Geomancer with just reasonable speeds, good accuracy, and actually building him to be a little bit tankier is a lot more important than building a lot of attack percent and crit rate on a Geo. Tip number 40 is that resistance is the worst stat in all of Raid Shadow Legends, except until it really, really, really bloody isn't, and it becomes like the best stat in the game on very, very specific champions in very, very specific teams. So hold on to resistance banners on your account in particular, especially those that have some good speed rolls. Next up, man, moving on to the arena tips. Oh god, we finally arrived. Tip number 41. If you think your account is ready for live arena, you're wrong. Tip number 42. If your account is actually ready for live arena, don't sweat it too much. You probably don't have time to grind it anyway. Tip number 43. Be farming Tag Arena so you can grab the Drexthar Blood Twin fragments that are going to be popping up in your Tag Arena shop until you've actually got Drexthar. Then after that, feel free to go ahead and spend your Tag Arena gold on Void Shards first as a priority, and then Ancient Shards. Tip number 44, while it is worth buying Sacred Shards inside a Tag Arena, and you can do it if you have access to these, I wouldn't recommend it for the sake of your sanity. Being in gold rank in Tag Arena, that is. Next up, Soulstones. Oh man, these are going to be some good tips, man. Tip number 45 is that your wish list only functions for rare champions. Tip 46, save yourself the disappointment and don't get too hyped when you pull a whole bunch of mythical souls for mythical champions, man. The hype and the thrill will wear off when you realize that you will never actually own these champions. Tip 47, and getting serious with this one again, Immortal Soulstones are one of the best and most valuable resources in all of Raid Shadow Legends. Why? They're a lot easier to come by than Eternal Soulstones. You can farm a bunch of Immortal Soulstones just randomly from certain tournaments and events and stuff that are going on inside of the game, and roughly a rate of, I don't know, 5 or 6 per month, which isn't too bad. Probably more than that, to be fair. These things are so valuable, not just for the souls that they may or may not contain. Again, forget about the wishlist, man. It's terribly, terribly weak. But Immortal Soulstones are one of your key tools for getting through things like Deck of Fate events and certain Heroes Path events, which every now and again can offer your account a free guaranteed legendary champion. And so saving up a good amount, usually about 40 Immortal Soulstones on your account, is like the golden number to look to save up. And hey, would you know, just like every other resource inside of Raid, there is a correct time, Deck of Fates and stuff like that, to really be focusing on pulling your Immortal Soulstones. Tip 48, man, getting a 6-star soul and a big old soul on your champion does not automatically unlock the stats associated with that soul. You actually have to go ahead and lock in a blessing to get all of the bonus stats on your champion, as well as, of course, activate the blessing itself. Just be aware of that. Newer players that have been away from the game for a while are just not that familiar with how the Soulstone system works. To get all these bonus stats, you do have to pick a blessing. I'd recommend hellhades.com and just look at what the most commonly picked blessings are for a champ. Tip number 48 is going to be to use, it's 49, is going to be subscribe to this channel, man, for more absolute nonsense with a little bit of tippage action dropped in there sporadically in between. And of course, a reminder with tip number 50, man, that if you're ever looking to start off a new Raid account, get that done right now by using the beginner promo link. It's down below this video at the top of the description box. Woo! I gotta go breathe for just a second. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm gonna catch all of you all just a tad bit later, man.